There was once a little boy named Armin who lived in a small town. His father had died when he was just a baby, and his mother worked day and night just to buy enough food. Armin went to school in old clothes and torn shoes. The other children, they laughed at him. They said he smelled bad. They called him a beggar. Armin never said anything. He would just look down at his broken shoes and stay quiet. He felt the weight of their words, the sting of their laughter. But he carried his silence like a shield. His world was small and often unkind, defined by what he lacked. One hot morning, while walking to school, Armin saw a boy sitting by the roadside. The boy had no legs. He was just sitting there, watching other children run and play, a quiet longing in his eyes. Armin stopped. He couldn't help but stare. The boy looked up, noticed Armin's shoes, and smiled, a genuine, warm smile. "Your shoes are nice," he said. Armin looked down at his own torn, broken shoes, the source of so much of his shame. Then he looked at the boy's missing legs. In that single moment, his heart tightened. Something deep inside him shifted. That night, Armin couldn't sleep. The boy's words echoed in his mind. "Your shoes are nice." For the very first time in his life, Armin felt a surge of gratitude. He had legs. He could walk, he could run. He could chase after his dreams, literally. Maybe, just maybe, he wasn't as poor as he had always thought. Maybe poverty wasn't just about what you didn't have, but also about what you failed to see. The next day at school, when his classmates started laughing at him again, something was different. Armin didn't look down. He looked at them, and he smiled. He said, "At least I can run. Some children cannot." The laughter stopped. The boys just looked at each other, confused, unsure what to say. From that day forward, Armin never felt ashamed again. He had discovered a power within him that no one could take away. Perspective. He started helping his mother more, his small hands taking on big responsibilities. He studied harder than ever before, his mind hungry for knowledge. After school, he went to work. He sold newspapers on busy street corners, his voice ringing out with the day's headlines. He cleaned shoes at the railway station, polishing them until they reflected the sky. He saved every single coin, each one a tiny brick in the foundation of his future. He never begged. He gave his best, every single day. One evening, while he was shining shoes, a man in a fine suit sat down. As Armin worked, the man asked, "Why are you doing this instead of playing like the other boys?" Armin looked up, his face smudged with polish, and said softly, "Because I want to build a life where no one laughs at others to feel strong." The man said nothing. He simply watched the boy finish, left him a surprisingly large tip, and walked away into the crowd, a thoughtful expression on his face. Years passed. Armin kept learning, working, and dreaming. Life was not easy. There were days he was tired, days he was hungry, days he felt like giving up. But every time life pushed him down, he would remember the boy with no legs. He would remember the feeling of gratitude that washed over him that day. And that memory, that simple shift in perspective, gave him incredible power. It was his secret fuel. One summer, when the sun was burning like fire and the air was thick with heat, Armin stood outside a small shop he had just opened. It wasn't much, just a little flower shop. But it was his. It was his dream, planted in the harshest of conditions. People laughed. "No one starts a business in this heat," they said. "You'll fail by winter." But Armin stood there every day, sweat on his forehead, but unwavering hope in his eyes. Slowly, customers began to come. At first, they came for the flowers, but they returned for the warmth in his smile, for the light in his eyes. Soon, people started talking about this young man, the boy who once polished shoes, but now sold inspiration wrapped in bouquets. He expanded his little shop, selling books, candles, and beautiful handmade gifts and crafts made by other poor families in his community. He called his venture Bloom Empire. In a few years, Bloom Empire grew, branching out across cities. Then came the website, online sales, and then international orders. Arman, the boy in torn shoes, started traveling the world. He gave motivational talks on huge stages, built schools in forgotten villages, and helped thousands of street children start small businesses of their own, giving them the same chance he had fought for. Today, Arman is the CEO of a global company. His brand, Bloom Empire, supports over 5,000 families worldwide, giving them dignity and a livelihood. He wears tailored suits, flies in private planes, and speaks to rooms filled with the world's most influential people. But in his polished glass-walled office, on a pedestal right in the center, there is one special thing: his old, torn, broken shoes. When people ask him why he keeps them, why he displays these relics of his past, Arman always smiles. He says, "These shoes remind me that success is not about where you start. It's about what you choose to believe. Don't wait for perfect tools to start building your dream. Build with what you have right now. You may feel poor, but your spirit is not empty. You may feel small, but your will is not weak. Even in the hottest, most unforgiving sun, a flower can rise, and so can you." He leans in, his voice full of conviction. Success doesn't always come from money or connections. Sometimes it comes from a single moment, a moment that wakes up your soul. The world will see your empire, but only you will know that it all started with broken shoes. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiration.